So happy to be with you here today and to have so many different folks join us for our Ag and Food Policy Summit. You know, we're focused today on revitalizing rural revenue, and I think it's a very fitting theme for what we're doing in conjunction with National Ag Day tomorrow. I can't tell you how happy I've been to get to know our speakers for this policy summit today. It's really a diverse set, not only geographically diverse, but a diverse set of interests and occupations that are all supporting jobs in rural America. And we brought them out of kind of their silos where you might see them at different meetings, but we brought them together for this very diverse discussion today. If there's one theme that I've taken home from kind of getting to know our speakers is that there's still a lot of good ways to make a buck in rural America. But there's also challenges associated with that. There's a lot of regulatory barriers, infrastructure challenges, labor, a big concern, and the training required to produce new products and bring them to commercialization. I know a little bit about how difficult it can be to start a business. When I launched my company in 2004, I wanted to start an all-digital newsletter, so I didn't have to deal with postage and printing. I wanted it to be subscription only because I thought people might be willing to pay for high-quality journalism. And there were a lot of naysayers, including several in my own family who said, never gonna work, stick to your day job. But I launched anyway, and it was just a few days later that, you know, you pull the trigger, you announce, you invite people to send their checks. And on one day, I got 2 checks. One came from Don Vilwalk, many of you know, former head of Indiana Farm Bureau, now retired. And the other one's going to be joining us a little later. She was running late this morning, but Mary Kay Thatcher, who was one of my first subscribers and is still a subscriber 20 years later. So I can't thank her enough for all the support that she's given us over the years. And then increasingly, we had other checks came in and folks said, yeah, you know, we like what you're doing. Eventually some advertisers, and then we got into the event business like what we're doing today. And as a result of your belief and your investments, a small business that started with 1 woman now employs 26. So we are, thank you. We couldn't do it without all of you. It really makes a big difference. And they're located all over the country now, mostly in DC, but also in our Camden office and in Sacramento. We're so pleased to be able to hire such top-notch people. Many of them are in the room today, including my husband, Alan Johnson. Please have our team stand. Jason Lutz, our son, Philip Brasher, Spencer Chase, Hannah Pagel, Steve Davies, Noah Wicks, Brad Hooker, who's online in Sacramento, Paige Dye, Tom Davis, Burke Kennedy, Akiva Rooks, whose birthday is today. Happy birthday, Akiva. Andrew Hunnicky, Jeff Nally, our Curious Plot team, who gives us such tremendous support for this event, and of course, all the folks who weren't with us today and are back home manning the phones. We're really happy to have all of them helping us, and a little play on words, but you'll see these on your tables, helping us shine light on farm and food policy for over 20 years. So please grab a flashlight before you head home and as a little memory of our work. There is one person that we're very much missing today, and that's Bill Thompson. Some of you may have heard that Bill has been bravely fighting brain cancer. He's had the tumor removed and he's been going through chemo and radiation, but we are just continuing to pray for his full recovery. You'll note that there's some note cards on your table, and there's also some silver buckets on various tables. If you'd care to write a note to Bill and send him best wishes, we'd really appreciate it. We'll gather those all up a little later today and send those off to him. He's recuperating near a Mayo Clinic in Florida. Or if you just want to send us a note and share any comments or concerns, you can do that too. Make yourself at home with those note cards, and we'll look for all those later. So I have a few housekeeping things, of course, to keep everything going. We encourage you to join our conversation today with social media and use the hashtag AgAndFood24. A lot of these details are also on the placemats on your table. Throughout the day, our moderators will be introducing speakers, but we're not going to go into their full biographies. For all the panelists, we encourage you to review their full backgrounds by scanning that QR code, again, on the placemat on your table. For in-person attendees, the information is there, but online you should be seeing it on your screen. If you have any questions, you can always contact us throughout the day, or if you have any concerns with your online viewing. Last but not least, please silence your cell phones. If we do hear one go off, we'll ask for a donation to one of our favorite charities. So save yourself some money by going ahead and doing that now. Please note, we're going to be recording these discussions, and they will be available on agri-pulse.com in a few days. We think that's a valuable opportunity for a lot of people. For those of you in the room, we thank you, but we also know that we have the opportunity to educate a lot of people who aren't here with us today, and we want to make sure that we keep this conversation going about revitalizing rural America. We're going to start with a little exercise, get your opinions and your juices flowing. We use, as some of you from previous conferences know, Slido. It's slido.com. And if you can get your phones or your mobile device out, enter the event code hashtag AgAndFood24. It should pop up right away. There's also a QR code on your placemat that's, or for virtual participants, you should see that code pop up on the top of your screen. You don't have to download anything for Slido, which is why we like it, and you should automatically begin to see some of the answers. So we have just a couple of quick questions. The first one is pretty simple, but we'll see how optimistic you feel on this day before National Ag Day. Do you think that Congress will pass a new farm bill in 2024? Yes or no? Well, for the House and Senate Ag Committee folks who'll be joining us later, they will be interested in your less than optimistic forecast on their efforts today. Looks like about 81% no and 19 yes. Thank you for that. We're going to try another one. This is not who you're going to vote for, but who do you think will win the presidential election in 2024? So here's your choices: President Joe Biden, former President Donald Trump, Robert F. Kennedy, or other. We're jumping all over the place here. And Robert Kennedy is staying consistent at 1%. Looks like we've got a winner with Joe Biden for our predictions today. So thank you for that. Looks like 53% over former President Trump at 45%. And you can tell me who the other is later. Thank you for that exercise. We'll be using this throughout the day, so if you have any questions, please use Slido. We'll be able to see your questions come in on our confidence monitor here and take your questions throughout the day. We are going to kick off with a brief video because without our sponsors, we could not host an event of this size here at the National Press Club. So please join me in watching a brief video from our platinum sponsor, CHS, and then I'm going to invite Spencer Chase, our first moderator, to bring his panel up to this stage. Thank you.
Out here, you learn that to keep growing, you have to keep changing. CHS and the farmers and ranchers we serve know all about change, because together we've changed agriculture. That's why we're the largest farmer-owned cooperative in the country. So farmers own the system they count on, with advantages at every step. From innovative tools that help crops grow, to grain processing expertise, to energy solutions, we create connections to empower agriculture. Learn more at chsinc.com.